$1,000 a month.
Most of us spend 1/3 of our lives at work, and many of us
a nightmare that has already changed the lives of more than 70 million Americans in the past 2 decades.
Fundamentally, business is about people, and you have to get off of just talking about profits and customer relationships and performance excellence. You got to deal with issues that directly touch at people.
Joining us now from San Francisco to tell us how, Jacqueline Miller, co-author of the new book, Heart at Work. Tell me, do you see any similarities between the work on Chicken Soup for the Soul and your new book?
This book is really about chicken soup for the American worker soul. And it has the same power, but also offers strategies and techniques that people can use and that are being used right now in the workplace. I bet you that the next millennium and for the remainder of the 90s, we're going to spend most of our time just teaching people how to be human again.
To deal with the human issues, more and more companies are hiring consultants. And that's tonight's Sunday Cover, how one big utility is trying to help downsized employees bounce back.
The classical music in a steam generating plant was Jacqueline Miller's idea. She's the self-esteem expert hired by Edison to counsel their anxious employees. Her message? Start communicating about fears. The future is up to you.
So it's that ability in the workplace to speak the unspeakable and to share, you know, wonderful feelings. Because the stuff that we're going through, it's painful. And what our mission is to really bring heart back in, the main missing ingredient in the workplace today. And I had, just so you know a little bit about me, I had grown up in corporate America. I worked for 14 years for various corporations, including the Sara Lee Corporation. And Sara Lee has bought and sold more companies than any other company in U.S. history. So what that means is that I have basically been bought and sold, fired and downsized more than anybody else in this country. And one thing that's great about that is that you get really good at experiencing change, and you're certainly not a newcomer to it. But you also really get to deepen the experience, the emotional experience of that whole process, and learn each time you go through it. Sara Lee, I'm sure you know, they own, Hanes and Legs and Bally, and they have a large meat division, Jimmy Dean Meats and Gallo Salami, and they also own Coach Leather, as well as the bagel and the cheesecake companies. But they also own Electrolux vacuum cleaners, and their motto, one of their advertising commercials, was this big elephant, and the motto was, "Nothing sucks like Electrolux." So that had a lot of play, too, in the workplace. But what we really found at Sara Lee, and what we found about going through these experiences of doing major hirings and then moving families and people across the country and major relocations, only to find that someone at the top was sort of part of an idea of the Month Club, and they decided they were going to sell that division, then we'd have to uproot all those people again and outplace them or whatever. And it just grew to the point that it was, enough now. For so long, we've had this thing called organizational development. Well, organizational development is really a myth, because we don't change organizations by changing organizations. We change organizations by changing the individuals, and we change the individuals one person at a time. So it's not this one cookie cutter program, that one size fits all sort of thing. It doesn't work. And we've been eating the menu and not the meal for so long. And there have been all these, the latest gurus and the latest management program and the latest this and the latest that. And I know I headed up training and development at Sara Lee, and we spent obscene amounts of money bringing the latest thing in, thinking that that was going to be it, and that was the panacea and that would work, only to find that people would get all hyped up and then they'd crash within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And it didn't have the substance, the sustainability, and a lot of these programs really never got to the heart. It was all surface, it was all kind of outside, exterior, circumstantial kinds of things. And when we did our research and really looked at this issue, we really found that at the heart of the matter is really self-esteem, feelings of self-worth. And when we talk about self-esteem, we're not talking about self-aggrandizement or narcissism or conceit. So often We were told, oh, you're going to be conceited, don't be conceited, don't feel that good about yourself, don't show off when you're a kid. So we're afraid to shine our light. So we formed this organization called Partnerships for Change that's dedicated to accelerating social and economic transformation through the media, as well as through business and through how we relate. And the whole purpose is to really breathe life back into the workplace.
Partnerships for Change is dedicated to accelerating social and economic transformation by redefining the role of the media. One of the many projects undertaken by Partnerships for Change is the international bestseller Heart at Work. Co-authored by Jacqueline Miller, Heart at Work encourages individuals to increase self-reliance and emotional literacy. Jacqueline Miller's powerful message continues to reach thousands of corporations, associations, churches, universities, corporate leaders, and political gatherings worldwide.
This is not about a feel-good kind of airy-fairy sort of California thing. It gives people that resiliency, that ability to bounce back, to stay productive, and to stay centered in the face of all this incredible turmoil.
Ms. Miller, a CEO and change management expert, has been enthusiastically received by thousands and applauded for her keynote speeches and seminars.
It's really time now, time to call people to take action, and that's what this is about, is just to explore possibilities with you of how we can all put our hands on the clay and mold it and make the world a better place through work, through this thing that we call work. Because businesses are in the most unique position to make global change happen.